चोरा मुरली वाला,
चित चोरा मुरली वाला,
चित चोरा मुरली वाला,
चित चोरा मुरली वाला,
नंदलाल नंद गोपाला,
नंदलाल नंद गोपाला,
नंदलाल नंद गोपाला,
नंदलाल नंद गोपाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला, वृंदावन श्याम गोपाला,
वृंदावन श्याम गोपाला,
वृंदावन श्याम गोपाला,
वृंदावन श्याम गोपाला,
मथुरा व्रज गोकुल बाला,
मथुरा व्रज गोकुल बाला,
मथुरा व्रज गोकुल बाला,
मथुरा व्रज गोकुल बाला,
मनमोहन मदन गोपाला,
मनमोहन मदन गोपाला,
मनमोहन मदन गोपाला,
मनमोहन मदन गोपाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला, नंदलाल नंद गोपाला, नंदलाल नंद गोपाला, नंदलाला नंदलाला, नंदलाला नंदलाला, चित चोरा मुरली वाला,
चित चोरा मुरली वाला,
चित चोरा मुरली वाला,
चित चोरा मुरली वाला,
नंदलाल नंद गोपाला,
नंदलाल नंद गोपाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला,
वृंदावन श्याम गोपाला,
वृंदावन श्याम गोपाला,
मथुरा व्रज गोकुल बाला,
मथुरा व्रज गोकुल बाला,
मनमोहन मदन गोपाला,
मनमोहन मदन गोपाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला,
नंदलाल नंद गोपाला,
नंदलाल नंद गोपाला,
नंदलाला नंदलाला, नंदलाला नंदलाला, चित चोरा मुरली वाला,
साई बाबा प्रणाम,
साई बाबा प्रणाम,
साई बाबा प्रणाम,
बाबा
बाबा प्रणाम
साई बाबा प्रणाम
शिरडी बाबा प्रणाम
शिरडी बाबा प्रणाम
ओ मेरे आत्मा राम
ओ मेरे आत्मा राम
ले लो मेरे प्रणाम
ले लो मेरे प्रणाम
साई ले लो मेरे प्रणाम ईश्वर अल्लाह राम सबके प्रभु साई राम
सबके प्रभु साई राम
पूर्ण करो मेरे काम
पूर्ण करो मेरे काम
हे परम शांति प्रिय राम
हे परम शांति प्रिय राम
हे परम शांति प्रिय राम
परम शांति प्रिय राम
साई बाबा प्रणाम
Om Shri Sai Ram. Did you enjoy the lunch? Yes? Did you enjoy the gulab jamun? It was lovely, wasn't it? It was lovely. Can't say anything. Right. Hopefully, that post-lunch phase of when you all fall asleep has over and you did all your sleeping in the workshop. No, I'm only joking. I hope you found the workshops very interesting. We'll have a summary of that in a moment. But whilst you're all coming back from the workshops, I have the pleasure of introducing Brother Satish Kumar and Brother Ankit, who are going to talk to you about 3D. Ooh, what is 3D? Well, they'll tell you all about that now. Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram, my humble salutations at the lotus feet of Swami. Thank you all for listening and taking all the time for us. Here we are with 3D, something very techno-savvy. It's devotee digital data, following the 3Ds of Swami, of duty, discipline, and devotion. We thought to imbibe them into our digital function, and we thought of coming up with something new in the organization. What is 3D Management Hub? A hub is a system where every part of the organization connects to, and we want to do that digitally as we are going ahead and progressing with the technology standards in the organization. We're trying to build a single platform which is connecting all the devotees of the SSO UK CIO. We are trying to create a database of national, regional centers and the groups across the UK. We're trying to have the skill register matrix of all the devotees, how they would like to support the organization. It could be Vedam chanting, singing bhajans, musicians, service volunteering activities of their choice, and giving out opportunities to volunteers of the interest that they would like to support the organization with. So it's a platform where we would like to connect the people, the centers, the groups, and the various activities and services which we have. What's the vision? The vision for us is to have a single, secure, GDPR-compliant digital devotee data management system which connects the devotees, having a transparent oversight of all the centers, regions, and the organization. We want to be law-abiding while doing that. We want to be following the GDPR compliance standards as per the UK charity and the organization. And we want to ensure that the data that we collect is secure and providing the right oversight for us. Why do we need the 3D system? That's the next question that comes forward to us. We have been a CIO since 2024, and we haven't been collecting the GDPR compliant data of our devotees. Now is the time we thought we'll go ahead and have a managed system, which is on one of the leading technologies across the world, collecting all the data as per the compliance standards. We want the data to be collected by the devotees. We'll be rolling out a Google form where devotees can collect and capture the information, and then we can use it for different purposes. It has been found that we have different wings having different amount of data. Say, for example, the DBS data is collected at one place, all the GDPR data is collected at another place, all the Bal Vikas data is collected at another place, and we want to merge and congregate all of the information into just one single platform. So that's where we thought of coming up with 3D digital devotee data management system. We want to ensure that the GDPR compliance is maintained, and whatever data you're giving is used to have you in the WhatsApp groups, as well as on the Love and Light newsletters. And we want to ensure that your personal data is secure in a highly secured system. We want to strengthen our collaboration and communication, and we want to be having a transparency across wings where we can see how wings can work in harmony and use the capability of each other. I'll hand it over to Brother Satish.
Thank you. This is just a continuation of what Brother Ankit was saying. So what are the benefits of the 3D management system? So basically, you are able to fall back into granular details of information at the center level, roll up to regional level, and then further roll up to national level. So the national level information is going to give us, strategic oversight of, where devotees are volunteering in which areas, how different centers are doing, what strengths different centers and regions are having, and then fall back or complement these strengths with additional support if required. It helps us on, from the regional level perspective, it helps regional coordination better, track various activities across multiple centers in the region, etc. And down to the center level or group level, the local devotee management becomes easier. We could use this for event planning and also for supporting the volunteers based on the information that we have in the system. Again, as Ankit mentioned, so this is a system that is one of the top two global CRM system. We don't want to use the word CRM, hence we put in a new terminology called devotee data system here. So we still are working on the governance and access control on this new application. As you could see in the slide, which I'll just change now, it is we're bringing in, because we are a CIO and there are a lot of regulations that we need to follow, we will bring in, or we are bringing in practices that are GDPR compliant, which adheres to strict data protection, as you could see. And we are building in some more automations, and it will be a purpose-built application or customization specific for our needs and use of the organization. And with regards to the access controls, it's not for everyone to see and manage the data. It is very much controlled with limited authorized access for the council members and administrators for now. The roadmap, as we see, right now we'll be rolling out initial registration to populate this database. As Ankit mentioned, it'll be a Google form. Link would be sent, shared soon, so you can click on the link, and then, as you might have done this before, for various national, regional events, the Google form will open, and then you need to fill in these details. Probably it'll take 7-8 minutes to fill it, because we are collecting as much information as possible. So it would take probably 8 minutes to fill in this information, and that becomes our core database. So the initial rollout is just going to be focused on collecting this information as the first phase of rollout. And the next phase, we are thinking of process automation, bringing in DBS renewal automations and gift aid digitization, and some more data migration tasks, which means the data that are in silos at the moment in different systems, Excels or Google Sheets, will be consolidating this and then putting into the system. So we have one robust database from where we could analyze data. And moving to the future, so we would expand it further to gather local activity metrics to make sure that we are able to demonstrate activities across center, regional, and national level. As Brother Roni also mentioned this morning, as part of submissions to the authorities, we need to have all this information collated every year. So that would become easier if we fall back on the information that we will collect through this application. And there could be advanced collaborations built. There will be tools to connect volunteers across regions based on their skills and availabilities and options that they would provide in this form. So that's in short what this new application is about. So it is a devotee digital data management system in short. Just a few pictures to show how the Google form looks like. As you could see, it's not so much different from the existing Google Forms that you might have seen for registration to various national events. This will be in the same format.
So, yeah, we have tried to capture and speak to all the national wing coordinators and capture what are the various activities they like to perform. So every wing has got a representation, be it spiritual wing, service wing, Bal Vikas wing, or young adult wing. So I'm sure there is something for everyone over here. And in whatever way and form you would like to contribute, you're more than happy to select the right options, and then certain team will reach out to you whenever such need arises. So that's the 3D system that we are trying to plan. And thank you for your time. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
Saram, everyone. Thank you to Brother Ankit and Sathya for telling us about 3D, such an exciting development for our organization and for the devotees. Hopefully, your workshops have inspired you all to take your role in Swami's organization into the future like courageous, majestic, and just lions. So with that in mind, it makes sense that we now hear from our next speaker, a leader who, like a lion, had to face into tough challenges of leading the UK organization through the pandemic. Many of you will already know Brother Ketan, but I will attempt to give a short introduction. Although Ketan was born into a spiritual family, he only became aware of Bhagwan through the late Dr. Gadya in the 1990s, and subsequently became involved in Swami's organization in the early 2000s. I always remember his story about only having been to Narborough Centre, I believe, twice before they roped him into the role of young adult coordinator. I guess Swami put him to work straight away, and rightly so. Since then, with Swami's grace, he has had the opportunity to serve in a long list of roles, including Regional Youth Coordinator, Region 4 Vice President, Centre President, National Disaster Relief Coordinator, National Vice President, National President, and currently he serves as the Central Coordinator for UK and Ireland. Are you all still with me after that list? Good, okay. Alongside this, Ketan has spent over 25 years of his professional life across leadership and service-orientated roles, and now works as an event photographer while always remaining deeply grateful for every opportunity to serve at Swami's lotus feet. Brother Ketan, you now have the tough challenge of keeping everyone awake post-lunch and after 2 hours of workshops.
I offer my most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dearest Lord, our true friend and true guide, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Fellow office bearers and active workers, Jai Sai Ram to you all. I'm going to share a few thoughts about what it means to be an office bearer. And not just any office bearer, right? It's an office bearer in this organization that bears his name, his divine name, Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. If we think about it, there's no other organization in the world like this. Every avatar that came, went, and then the organization was created. He did everything himself. He chose to come on earth when he wanted to, chose the place, and this is all in his discourses, in the Vahinis and discourses. He chose who his divine mother would be, divine father would be. He chose everything. And when it comes to the National Ishwarama Day coming up in May, we teach the children that he followed his mother's wishes as well. He did everything. He took it one step further and created this organization. So what does it mean to become an office bearer in this organization? It's something that we can take for granted, right? Because there's no one to fill the position. So someone will take the position. And as Brother Jamie said, we all come into it in our own ways. And I'll share that example a bit later on. But it's something that's entrusted to us. And everything we do, whether we're an active worker, an office bearer, are we doing it for the right reason? And we have to remind ourselves. I forget all the time that, Swami is the one that's the doer, right? He gives us the opportunity and then gives us the credit for it, even though it's him who's doing it. And I remember in 2006, when we were sitting with him at his divine lotus feet, and he was telling us very clearly that everything you do, I'm with you all the way. So if he's here and we're setting up this beautiful altar today, or doing the catering or the serving, are we serving Swami? Are we seeing Swami in what we do? Swami gives us these roles, and it doesn't matter what the role is. We're temporary custodians, as Swami says. We make the most of the opportunity. He handpicks each and every one of us. And I wanted to expand on the story that Brother Jamie mentioned. For many years, I took it as a coincidence or a chance in terms of how I came into Swami's fold. Because as he mentioned, for many years, when I was born in a family that was very spiritual, lots of activities happening, Shirdi Baba devotees, and for many years, I missed the whole Bal-Vikas piece from that point of view. And in the early 1990s, through the late Dr. Dhirubhai Gadia, we got to know about Swami. And for me, it was an instant attraction to Swami. Even without seeing him, I knew there's something here. I'd believed in God since birth, and I didn't know anything different. So 10 years later, I realized there's an organization. Now, how I found out the organization, I thought was a coincidence. And it was just one evening in Leicester, going to one of the shops to buy something. And as I got to the till, to the checkout to pay, there was a brother that was serving me. And my eyes caught on his finger because he had one of those rings. And for those of you who've been to Prashanti, across the road, the Chitravati Road, the little shops that used to sell those rings of Swami's pictures. And that's what caught my eye. And obviously, I got talking to him, and I was thinking, so where are you from and everything? And he said, I'm the vice president of the local center here. We have a Sai center here. We have an organization. And so myself, my cousin, we went to it for the first time. And it's a Thursday evening bhajans. We went to the first bhajan, second bhajans, and announced we have a monthly committee meeting. And I still remember the room where some of the brothers and sisters here were there as well. And we walked in, I knew nothing about why I was there, except for the elders had asked me to go to some meeting. They went through the agenda, and one by one everything happened, and I left that meeting 2 hours later, being announced the youth coordinator for Nabra Sai Center. And still I thought it was coincidence, because it has to be. Why, how could I turn up at some shop? I get to the till and it's not anyone serving me. It was a guy that was serving, that kind of stuff. And then you realize that Swami's hand is in everything. Swami picks and chooses everything. Swami chooses a national president that starts, I think we were just about to do the pre-world conference, I think, when we had the meeting. And within weeks later, we're closing down the whole country, closing down every center, thinking what's happening here, right? But Swami is looking after every single thing. And we have to remember this, because he handpicks each and every one of us, but do we do our duty to the best that he expects us to do? Do we see Swami in everything? And for many years, and at times I still think this, that I'm going out there to serve because I will change the world. I will give someone on the street some food because he needs the food. They don't need the food, not in a bad way. And we discuss this on a weekly basis. They need the love that Swami has given us, because anyone will feed anyone. It's how we serve. And when Swami said at the end of the interview, and myself and Amit, we showed some pictures to Swami, and Swami looked through all the pictures. It's 45 minutes into this interview. And you could see that Swami doesn't have to give us that time, right? And for those of you who've had that close proximity, little things he'll do because it makes us happy. He sits there, and he used to sit there every darshan in the morning, in the afternoon, and we'd do performances, and not in a bad way. They weren't brilliant performances, but he would sit through them because that's the love he has for us. So he looked through all the pictures, and at the end he said, but no love. And that was a thunderbolt, because I had my shoulders up before then, thinking that, look what we've done, Swami, your children in Leicester. This is what we've done in Region 4. We've served your school in Leicester. We've done this, we've done that. And then for me now, I remember that as if it was yesterday. So when we take on these roles, do we realize that we are fortunate? 7 billion people, however many people are in the world, we got to know him first. And not just got to know him, he called us to him. He pulled our heartstrings, that we are his children. We know that. It doesn't matter what challenges we go through, we hold on to him. But make the most of the opportunity, because tomorrow the opportunity will go. And that's fine as well. He used to teach us, when you do service, don't think that you've done it. Forget it after. And the example he would give us is, it's Satish Bhai's birthday. I give him a birthday card, or I give him a shirt. I go to his house, and I see the card on the mantelpiece. My automatic thought will be, I gave that to him. Swami says, forget it. Just do his work and move on. But do it as if we're doing it for him, because that's all it's for. We were just discussing it earlier. This is just our spiritual journey. Of course, we have to have the roles. We have to have the structures. And that's what the World Conference was about in November as well, when the seniors were telling us, in theory, we could scrap the whole organization, but it gives us a structure to do it. But it's only for our spiritual journey. So let's make the most of it. When we have committee meetings, and we have regional meetings and national meetings, if we realize this is Swami's organization, and it is, of course it is, if we remember that, we will have a queue of people behind Shakti and Ronnie to become the next national presidents and national vice presidents, or the center level, or the regional level. Let's make the most of every opportunity and become closer to Swami. It's just for our spiritual journey. With those few words, I'll finish. Jai Sairam.
Respected elders, sisters, and brothers, Jai Sada. My name is Kavita Gurung, and it is my profound honor to stand before you as the new Region 6 President. Please bear with me, catching up on my breath. I'd like to begin by expressing my heartfelt thanks to Brother Ketan Gokani for his truly inspiring talk. His words on the significance of becoming an office bearer in our SAI organization resonated deeply with me. Personally, growing up within a SAI organization and with Swami's grace, getting to serve as the office bearer, I realized how much Swami loves and cares for each and every one of us, that he presents us with all these opportunities so we can love all and serve all, so that we can love him and serve him in all beings and in all aspects. I realize that we all are one big family, connected by his pure divine love. I also realize that I can't live without Swami, and I'm nothing without Swami. So on a personal note, I would like to take this opportunity to quickly express a few words of appreciation and gratitude for Ketan Bhai. I reflect back on my term as one of the National Young Adults Coordinators alongside my sisters Nirali and Diksha with immense gratitude. It was under Ketan Bhai's loving guidance and steady care that we were able to navigate our responsibilities despite the many challenges and difficulties of the pandemic. Ketan Bhai, you've always been like a big brother to all of us, always present, supportive, and patient. We have learned so much from your example and thrived under your leadership. So, Ketan Bhai, on behalf of my sisters and myself, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. We will now move on to the second part of these presentations from our various wings and functions. Firstly, on the service wing, unfortunately, Jitesh Bhai cannot be here with us today. However, we are grateful that Jesh Bhai, a very familiar face to all of us, will kindly take us through the wonderful work being done by the service wing. Following that, we have our dear Sai Warren, who will provide an update on our young adults wing and their initiatives. Finally, we will hear from our new digital function team. They will share highlights from the past year, as well as the new structure and exciting plans they have in store for the year ahead. Jai Sada.
I offer my loving pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Dear delegates, Sai Ram. I thought I was getting a rest, but let's give Jitesh Bhai a rest, so he's fully energized from when he comes back. I'm delighted to introduce the 2026 National Service Team. Look at them. They're all beaming with smiles. All Jitesh Bhai is doing. I don't know if you're here. Please stand up if you hear your name so people can see you. So Brother Swarup from Region 1, Brother Umesh from Region 2, and Sister Ramita from Region 2. Brother Ankit from Region 3, Brother Narinjan from Region 3, Sister Bhauna from Region 4, Brother Matu from Region 5. Now, he can't be here with us because guess what he's doing? Planting trees. Brother Manny from Region 6, Sister Naina from Region 7, Brother Ami from Region 8. Dr. Shribla, remind me how long he's been the Region 8 coordinator? 10 plus years? Easily. And then obviously Jitesh Bhai, who is your new National Service Coordinator. Please take a few moments to familiarize yourself with the National Healthcare Team. As you know, healthcare comes under the service wing. It's headed by the National Service Coordinator, Jitesh Bhai, and the National Council President, Sathya. Did you know that, Sathya? You do now, okay. Dr. Upadhyaya is the medical committee lead, and he's supported by leads from each region. So we are really fortunate that literally as of yesterday, every region now has a medical lead, so well done. We also have a mental health care lead. We are still looking for someone to help us with blood donation. So if anybody is interested and want to participate in that, please let us know. All ably supported by our sister Gayatri Ben. Please draw on the expertise of this team to plan your healthcare projects. Swami, I would like to offer at your lotus feet a summary of activities carried out by devotees across the UK. Under the Social Care banner, devotees donated 10.5 tons of provisions. That's nearly, I'm told, 25,000 meals that the food bank can provide to individuals. 109 toiletry bags. Let's not forget our pets as well. So 225 kilograms were donated for pets. The next item is phenomenal when you think about it. Over 26,000 meals, food packages, parcels, hampers were cooked by our devotees to support those in need, most particularly the homeless. And out of this seva comes a requirement where 98 of our volunteers completed the food safety and hygiene training. So well done to all of you. Together with the food and that, many items such as sleeping bags, tents, blankets, hats, scarves, gloves are donated to them. 1,645. Our elderly are entertained at tea parties. 2,400 Easter eggs for children in hospital. Under the Invacare banner, since the Premathuru initiative started, the devotees in the UK have planted more than 18,000 trees, nearly 7,000 last year. Really, really important for our environment. I hope this will continue for many years to come. Many volunteers participate in beach cleaning, litter picking, weeding, etc. We also have a small group of people in Region 7 who help recycle VHS tapes. So please, anybody who has got VHS tapes, send them to Region 7. Don't bring them to an event. Under the Medicare banner, health awareness webinars continue. This year, 46 units of blood and 12 units of plasma were donated. I'm told this can save about 138 lives, at least. Again, this is a drive we must continue. In Leicester, dental treatment was provided to homeless at the shelter there, 38, I think. Overseas, baby clothes, 300 items of baby clothes, saris, dry rations, were distributed to villages in and around Puttaparthi. Recently, 177 gift boxes were sent for children in Moldova. Again, provisions, 1,700 kilograms of provisions to Moldova. Hand-knitted items such as cardigans, blankets to Moldova and Malawi. Now, let's not underestimate this. Hand-knitted, that means someone is giving up their time, pouring their love into this garment so that someone can benefit from it. 100 blankets and books were sent to Nepal. Continuing with overseas, dry rations to 100 vulnerable families were provided recently, and this will be a project that continues. Again, recent flood relief in Sri Lanka, 500 gas cookers, 500 kettles were distributed to the needy. The next two projects have started and will progress in 2026. This is cataract surgeries for the elderly patients in Sri Lanka, providing a gift of life to people that have heart problems, so heart valves to the super specialty hospital. So these projects are underway, we just haven't made the first contributions for that. Earlier you heard about the medical camp in Nepal. I mean, some of the facts are unbelievable, but I'm sure you've all heard of this before. Over 5,000 patients were seen, over 500 pairs of glasses were distributed, 15,000 medicines, 7,000 meals over the 4 days were provided to every individual who came to the camp. Quilts, fruit saplings were distributed to 200 families, school uniforms, jackets to students. Laptops were given to the underprivileged girls, 10 number, and baby packs were also distributed as part of the camp. And we cannot forget the centenary pilgrimage. What a memorable time. Apart from the 7 days of programs and activities, stationery and sports equipment was given out to 650 girls. Grama Seva to 500 families, comprising of 1 month's ration for an average family. 320 baby packs were given to the general hospital. So we all talk about logging services and how important it is. All those facts comes from people logging services. Just another example how if we are to reach out to communities, the importance of us making sure that the information is correct and on our website. So just an example, after reading about our services on our website, the team from Tesco in Leicester got in touch. Whilst they normally support local communities, they were touched by our organization's effort to support those in need. So they kindly donated over 300 items of school clothing. These were taken to Moldova. That was a reflection and services in 2025. So a huge, huge thank you to everyone for the selfless service that you did. A vision for 26, as usual, is always to offer a variety of service activities and for devotees to participate in whichever one their hearts desire. We will continue with the service projects such as the food bank, homeless, entertaining the elderly, tree planting, blood donation, health awareness. So these are ones which we just need to continue and maybe reach out to local communities and see how we can do that. As mentioned, we do need to go out, touch base with multi-faith organizations. EHV was talked about earlier. Let's increase the awareness in the local community. Service is the easiest and best way. Medical camps are being planned, as mentioned earlier. potentially to Nepal in October, and to Moldova. We don't have a date yet, but let's look at it. So this came out of the people from Teach who came to our National Birthday Program and saw what we did and reached out to see how we can help. So more details to follow. To conclude, you must render service out of spontaneous urge from within, with a heart filled with love. Again, if anybody wants to participate, I don't have to read it out. Just touch base with your central service coordinators, regional service coordinators, or email the service wing at that email. Jai Sairam. Thank you very much. Saiwan?
I offer my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, fellow office bearers, and young adults, Jai Sairam. I can see a few of you are nodding off as we speak. The sister over there is fast asleep. So I haven't started speaking yet, so I'll blame it on Jayesh Bhai. But I'll keep it brief, just so that more of you don't nod off. So if we go back to last year, as a wing, we set out a new vision. The thinking was simple. The wing needed to be more dynamic for its members. And given the wide age range and the fact that most people within the YA wing move through different stages in their life, we decided to split it into 3 core streams on the slide to better tailor the activities for each cohort. So starting with 18 to 21-year-olds, our focus here was on how we as an organization can support them through their adult life, whether that's at university, starting their first job, or even learning basic life skills. Importantly, we extended this age bracket to our group 4 kids, so 16 to 18-year-olds. Nurturing emerging talent is key if we want to keep them engaged in the organization for years to come. And I'm pleased to say, over the last year, we delivered on this in terms of 5 practical skills webinars. For the all-important 21 to 30-year-olds, the key engine of the wing, we realized that we needed to create a space for them to express themselves and better align their interests and skills with the needs of the organization. So over last year, we organized 59 YAPs, or YA-led activities, and that included 1 skills-based workshop, 5 spiritual or bhajan meetups, 7 YA meetups, 12 satsangs, and 32 seva-led activities. For the 30 to 35-year-old bracket, we realized that this is a stage where life changes. And so we thought about how can we focus on keeping them connected with the organization. And so we concluded that regular satsangs focused on practical spirituality was the best way to maintain this. So why don't we look back on last year and see some of the highlights from the year. So 2025 was a very successful year for the YA wing, with many firsts. As mentioned earlier today, we led on a youth play for the first time in over 15 years. As you saw there, we composed and recorded a birthday song, the first by a national organization outside of India. But it's not just going to be a one-off year, a year where we win the Champions League once and then that's it, we disappear. We'll continue to win year after year after year. So what's our philosophy, not just for next year, but for the years ahead? It can be broken down into 4 key themes. Firstly, unity. We're a diverse wing that covers youth across several regions, but also different age groups. We want to make sure that the youth connect across these groups. Secondly, and this is very critical, aligning the skills and talent of our youth with YA activities. Engagement is a two-way process, and this is critical for the evolution of the organization. Thirdly, collaboration and leadership. As I learned last year, the YA wing doesn't have a single defined purpose like the other wings. Rather, we need to work across the different wings. And more importantly, we shouldn't just be passive observers in the organization's activities. We should be leading these initiatives and projects. And lastly, and most importantly, Group 4. Like any successful organization, our future depends on this strong pipeline of emerging talent. So how will we deliver this? Sticking to our 3 core strands, for the 18 to 21-year-olds, we'll continue with our online workshops, maintaining both the frequency and the range of topics. But we'll also take these workshops into the regions because nothing beats face-to-face engagement. For 21 to 30-year-olds, I'm pleased to announce that after a 10-year hiatus, we're hosting our first national YA retreat later this year in April Easter bank holiday. And again, like I mentioned in our philosophy, this will bring YAs from across the country together for a 2-day residential focused on fun, spirituality, and connection. Alongside this, and this is the centerpiece of the wing this year, the wing's target, one of the wing's goals, is a target of 10,008 active Seva hours. Seva is the foundation of this organization. For if you look back at the name, it's the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization. And as a wing, we want to collectively deliver on that purpose. The key word here is active. While Seva can take many forms, our focus is on serving the wider community, outside our centers and regions. And to be clear, this isn't a one-year target. We're going to target this year after year after year. For the 30 to 35-year-olds, and I admit there is a lot more work for us to do on this front, we'll be running more regular satsangs at a national level based on Swami's teachings on sealing on desires. So how will we measure success? On the Group 4 front, or that pipeline, like I said, we have a lot of SSE students, from my understanding of over 1,000 in the system. And if you were to take an average figure, about 100 graduate every year. And over a 10-year period, in theory, if all 100 stayed in the organization, our wing would have 1,000 members just from SSE. But for various reasons, we lose many of those students. So our goal this year is to actually reduce that attrition rate. Unfortunately, we don't have the exact data to sort of measure where we are now and what we're targeting, but hopefully with the help of Brother Ankit and Brother Satish, we'll get the data and then we can analyze that. So looking forward to those numbers. Secondly, we will, like I've mentioned before, we'll expand on those webinars. We'll continue with the online webinars, but we'll also roll those out into the regions and aim to deliver at least 3 or more of these. Last year, we delivered 59 YA-led events for our core group, and the aim this year is to increase this by at least 10%. More importantly, the 10,008 active server hours is a key component of this target. And finally, with the older cohort, we will try and maintain that connection with them so that they stay within the organization as they transition out of the wing. So we've talked about the why, the how, and the what, but now we need to talk a little bit about the who. So I'm pleased to invite the team who will be helping to deliver these goals over the coming year. And I'm keen to stress this, but whilst these individuals have leadership responsibilities, every single member of the YA wing, office bearer or not, is part of our team. So I'd like to welcome all of these individuals. So firstly, in Region 1, we have Brother Sathya, who's continuing as a regional youth coordinator. I'm not that scary, you can come closer. In Region 2, we have Brother Gautam. Unfortunately, he came today, but unfortunately he had to leave a bit early. He's a new addition to the team. In Region 3, we have another new and welcome addition to the team, Sister Sindaja. In Region 4, we have Brother Vinay. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us today. In Region 5, we have another new and welcome addition, Sister Yoshana. In Region 6, we have Brother Sabesh, who continues in his role. And in Region 7, we have Sister Devisha, who continues in her role. I'd like to end with a prayer to Swami. Swami, bless us with the skill, intelligence, and enthusiasm necessary for the task we are dedicating ourselves to carry out for our own upliftment. Guide us along the correct path. Shower on us your grace so that we may earn a fair name in this attempt. Guard us from temptation and wrong steps. Sairam.
Jai Saram, everyone. There are definitely some tired eyes. I promise I won't keep you more than a few minutes to talk about the media offerings for the last year and the next year coming ahead. But before I do, I just want to take you on a small journey. I just want to think about the people you've met today. And the program will soon come to an end, and you'll probably say Saram to everyone. I've not seen you for a long time, and we'll see you at the next program. And you'll go home in the rain, because it's been raining for the last 3 months, it feels like. And you'll have dinner with your families, and you'll go to bed, and you'll probably sleep well, and you'll wake up. And imagine you wake up a bit earlier than everyone else. And you go downstairs, and you go into the TV room, or wherever the room is, and it's still dark. And you put the TV on. Everyone else is asleep. And the TV goes on, and suddenly, Swami's darshan comes up. And you see Swami's face. And for some of you, there might be tears. Some of you, there's a smile like there is now. Some of you will feel a connection with Bhagwan in that moment, while everyone else is quietly asleep. And for me, I might have tears as well, and feel there is a connection with me and Swami, and he can hear every one of my thoughts, and he can hear my heart beating. And that, brothers and sisters, is the power of media. Because Swami is no more in the room now than he was 10 minutes ago, but something there gives you a connection to Swami. And that's why the media team is the most important wing of all the wings. So it's a wonderful opportunity for me just to recap last year before I hand over the reins to Brother Raju, who's going to come up. And last time I stood up in front of you and spoke about the website and social media and how we can improve people's connections with Swami like you did when you saw his darshan. Whether it's on your phone, whether it's some of the people who are watching online on YouTube now, whether it's in the center when Bhajans is going on and you're seeing Swami's darshan. So you saw we have a new website and the numbers speak for themselves. We went up from about 800 views a year to over 31,000. So about 2,500 people are looking at the website every month. And as many people have said, this is the outward-facing part of the organization. People will go home, our friends or who may not know about Swami, they will look at our website and talk about that. And we have people visiting from all over the world, not just in the UK. And those numbers have gone up because of a fantastic new website, but also because we had lots of different aspects of the website which people were drawn to. We had a pilgrimage dedicated page where people could have a look at what the daily activities of the pilgrimage. There are photo galleries, there are media galleries where you can have a look at all the different activities and also register for the events. But above the website, YouTube brings out hundreds of thousands of people. There are almost one video released for our organization every day. This is the national organization. One video a day, 322. And that's why there's almost 900,000 views over the last 12 months alone. Over the course of our YouTube page, which has only been there for a few years, over 2 million views. And as you know, we've mentioned a bhajan a week. We've mentioned a moment with Sai. We've mentioned the Homa mini-series about Vedam that Brother Kapil spoke about. We speak about the streaming for these events as well. And it draws lots of people and gives them the opportunity to feel Swami's presence, especially in the UK. 87% of people, adults in the UK, are on social media. And I suspect in this room it's probably less than 87% because not everyone does. But this is again where Swami's message, Swami's form, reaches those non-Sai devotees as well. And so if you look at that number, 211,000 impressions that we had just last year, that's when Swami's message from the UK arrives on people's pages when they're not necessarily following us. And that's why there were almost 1 million views on Instagram alone. If you look at Facebook, we have over almost 8,000 people who follow Facebook pages. So they get regular updates of what's been happening. And if you look at the number of followers that now follow us in Instagram, it's almost close to 6,000 as well. So really fantastic numbers. Now I'm going to finish my bit by saying that I lied to you, actually. Media isn't the most important part of this team. YouTube is not the most important part of this team. There are two things. One is Swami, and that's the most important of all our teams. The second part is the team of boys and girls who contribute to all of those aspects. For example, a bhajan a week takes, we release it every week. Someone has to shoot that. Someone has to edit it. Someone has to do the thumbnail. Someone has to do the little trailer. Someone has to upload. Someone has to write the wording for it. Someone has to put the subtitles every single week. And the boys and the sisters and brothers who do that, none of them do it professionally. They do it because of their love for Swami and the fact that we can increase people's interaction with Swami in the UK. So it gives me great pleasure to hand over to Brother Raju, who's going to be taking this team forward over 2026. Please give him a round of applause.
Sairam. I offer my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Swami. Before I speak about this year, I would like to thank our outgoing national media coordinator, Brother Amit, and the media team he has guided. Under this leadership, the team has worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure everything related to media runs smoothly. This has involved late night planning, coordination across regions, and meetings that probably went well past their bedtimes. When we hear the word media, we often think of posts, videos, or platforms. But in our SAI organization, media is more than just content, as Brother Amit said earlier on. It helps connect devotees with our Swami, carrying his message of love, unity, and selfless service across the world. A Balavika's moment could reach a parent at home. A server video may inspire someone to get involved, or a clip from one of Swami's discourses may uplift a devotee. In this way, media moves across all the wings of the organization, helping every activity reach every devotee. As we step into 2026, National Digital Team's focus is on developing greater clarity, consistency, and connection. So our focus for this year rests on 5 priorities, as you can see it on the slide. First, data management. We'll be introducing the Devotee Digital Data System, or 3D system, as you heard earlier on. This helps us move towards one centralized system that supports clear communication and coordination. Secondly, websites. Across the UK, we have wonderful content, but sometimes just hidden behind too many clicks. Standardizing national, regional, and center websites will help ensure information is easier to find, easier to use, and consistent wherever you are in the country. Third, processes. This may not be the most exciting word in the dictionary, but good processes mean less time chasing information and more time serving meaningfully. So our aim is to simplify how data is collected, shared, and reported across regions and centers. Fourth, communication. Media works best when information flows smoothly. Strengthening communication through national and regional media coordinators will help keep everyone aligned and informed. And fifth, AI. Artificial intelligence can be used purposefully, not to replace people, but to support them. Whether it is improving quality, saving time, or helping content reach further, AI is simply another tool at our disposal. To support this work, the national team is structured around several key areas: website and infrastructure, social media, sound and video, digital content, and devotee digital data. And you can see the leads for each of these areas on the slide here. Most of them are hidden over that big TV screen over there. Each area is focused on one part of a large digital puzzle, ensuring that what we share is clear, reliable, and coordinated. At regional level, media coordinators across all 8 regions work together to keep the UK updated. This structure allows ideas to travel, information to remain consistent, and all regions to feel part of one larger shared effort. And importantly, this team is not closed. If we can edit, design, write, plan, organize, or simply help wherever needed, there is space for you. Devotees interested in supporting National Digital Team can email us with the subject line, "Happy to help." which is also, luckily, the main qualification that we need. To conclude, we invite everyone to stay connected by following our national media platforms. If I may ask the question, so how many of you follow our organizational WhatsApp channel? If you can put your hands up, please. I think this is around 40% of you here. So, well, we need that to be 100%. So please make sure that to follow our WhatsApp channel. I'm sure there are some QR code outside this room. So that you can receive all the updates and a lot of information about the organization and all the activities. So every click will help us connect with Swami, and every likes will help us love our Swami even more. With Swami's love and blessing, may our digital server continue across the UK together. Jai Sai Ram.
Is better, isn't it, right? Yeah. Or maybe I can just come out that side. Right. Jai Sai Ram, everybody. My koti koti pranams at the lotus feet of my beloved Swami. And koti pranams to you all, dear brothers and sisters, and nieces and nephews, because, they all call him auntie now. So I have to say it, my niece and nephews. First of all, I would like to start thanking our service team, young adult team, and media team for the wonderful presentation. I'm sure you all agree with me because they do so many activities which you can see them over here. So well done to them, very well done. Now I would like to say another remarkable and special event was a conference was workshops. And I'm sure you all agree with me, right? You all had a wonderful time in your workshops. Even in lunchtime, you were all buzzing about it. In a workshop I went, they didn't want to finish. So you had a wonderful time in a workshop. I'm really, really happy with that as well. First of all, I would like to say thank you to my facilitators. What a wonderful idea, my facilitators. Thank you to both for bringing both knowledge and energy, passion, expertise, guidance, and enthusiasm. Made this session so worthwhile, and I am very feeling that it was easy to follow, I hope. And most importantly, it's kept awake after the lunchtime workshop. Are you all agree? You all awake, right? Well, you're sleeping, I think so. So maybe you're awake in a workshop, but now you're probably kind of feeling sleepy. It is very warm here, and I'm very tired too. I'm sure you are tired too. But it was very good, and I think all facilitators invested so much time and effort in throughout the both workshops, and it was genuinely made so much difference to all of you. And next, our participants. Thank you so much for engaging and asking thoughtful questions, actively taking part in. And I was in a couple of workshops, and I did see them. They were all asking questions, feedbacking everything, and telling your experience. Some of them were thinking they couldn't get the time to say all the experiences, but I'm sure in your own center, when you have original office bearer conference, when you have that time, you will be able to have more experience and talk about that too. Your discussions, teamwork, and willingness to participants made this workshop very meaningful and worthwhile. And the first thing you show up, I think many people did go home after lunchtime, but I can see you standing here. And another important part of this workshop was workshop planning team. What can I say? You are the magic. I'm praising all my team actually here. You are the magic behind the scenes, from the planning and organizing, ensuring everything runs smoothly. with their energy and professionalism. And don't forget the banter goes on there as well. And I'm talking about team. I don't know where is everybody. I don't know where the Neil is. Oh, there he is. Yes, I can see. So yes, we had a good banter while we're preparing this workshop team. And Kobe over there as well. The workshop is a fantastic opportunity for you to learn, share ideas, grow together. Because this is not just me or my team. You all have taken that part and you all have understood whatever we're trying to achieve at the end of the workshop. I hope you are leaving feeling inspired and empowered, confident on top of that as well. And very less, maybe a few ideas or take some stories back home too. Once again, thank you all for your hard work for participants, facilitators, and all of you. And now, I would like to, before all you go to sleep, I'd like to invite our workshop planning team to give us a bit summary of both workshops. Please join me. They told us I'll put that up for them.
Just reconfigure the mics. There we go. Jai Sai Ram, everyone. So we started with workshop 1 just before lunch. And as a reminder, the purpose of that was to explore what spiritual balance is, what helps us to stay spiritually balanced in difficult times, and how spiritual balance shapes us as office bearers and active workers in the organization. Now, Bhagavan says, I want you to be a leader to protect the world. Leaders like lions, self-reliant, courageous, majestic, and just. The lion is the king of animals, and I want you to be a king among men. Now, what does that lion represent? And we started by discussing that. Ideas were equanimity, self-confidence, being fair, being just, having a shining character, and trusting one's own abilities. Now, Bhagavan says the balance can be restored only by cultivating the inner vision. If you examine the nature of mind, you will find that it is very much akin to the lens of a camera. The body is the camera, the mind is the lens, the heart is the photographic plate, the thought is the flash, and the intelligence, the switch. So, looking at this quote, what is it that creates an impression on our hearts? And that is where we point our minds and the thoughts that we have. Nice and clear cut. Next, we discussed what keeps us spiritually balanced in difficult situations. Because peace is not when there is absence of trouble, but when there is presence of God. Now, this is something that we all have experienced, and ideas came up such as surrendering to God, prayer, meditation. But what was Bhagavan's answer? Bhagavan's answer was love. And to quote Bhagavan, he says, start the day with love, spend the day with love, fill the day with love, end the day with love. This is the way to God. Now, finally, in workshop 1, we brought all of these aspects into perspective for an office bearer or active worker. So how does spiritual balance help us to act responsibly in our roles? And specifically, how does inner peace influence the way we speak or respond? And does spiritual balance help us to practice forgiveness and patience? So Bhagavan, again, has given us many pearls, such as first be, next do, and third tell. So be the example that you want to see in the world. Next, love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never, and of course, the 9-point code of conduct. Now, again, it all comes down to love, because Bhagavan says, duty without love is deplorable. Duty with love is desirable. Love without duty is divine. So to round up, Bhagavan reminds us that we must each pray in our active roles, that Bhagwan bless me with the skill, intelligence, and enthusiasm necessary for the task I am dedicating myself to carry out for my own upliftment. Guide me along the correct path, shower on me your grace, so that I may earn a fair name in this attempt. Guard me from temptation and wrong steps. He's the doer, we are mere instruments or faciers of the work he actually does. Jai Sai Ram.
Sairam, everybody. Ketan has such a soothing voice that I think a few who were awake a few minutes ago have now fallen asleep. So I will try and be the antithesis of that and move on to the second half of the workshop, which was all about how we can support our centers, groups, imbibe Swami's teachings in the community and adapt into the future. And I'll start with the caveat that adapting and developing is not just about growth or size. It's about the sincerity, the depth, and the service that each of one of us as individuals undertake and bring to our centers. So a key message is, just because your center may only have a few people, that is not a reflection in any way of the impact that you can have on the individuals in your centers and in the broader community. We started this workshop off talking about what was going well at the respective centers, and various responses included the ability to uphold Swami's teachings and values on a regular basis every week at center, leading with love, talking with love, acting with love. It was also mentioned that the regular activities, our staple diet as a Sai organization, such as bhajans, Vedam chanting, those things going well, great. It was also mentioned that better attendance and the recovery of numbers after the COVID pandemic was going well at many centers, but I'll come on to the challenges in a little while. With greater social media presence, there is more of a radar and an aerial to reach those for whom physical access to centers has been challenging. And certainly in the centenary year, a boost in interest and attendance after centenary celebrations, the zonal pilgrimage, and many other activities that we've taken in honor of our Swami in 2025 that will also continue into 2026. Swami told us that the future of the country depends on the skill and the sincerity of the youth. And we interpreted that as the youth are not just the under 35s. We are all Swami's children, and we all have that ability to inspire transformation in ourselves and in others. Some of the challenges that were talked about were resources in smaller centers. For example, some centers struggle with musicians on a regular basis. And that turned the conversation to how centers can collaborate with each other, share their talent, and for young adults in particular, to understand that true service is where it's needed. We talked about inspiring devotees to take on office, where core groups in centers are sometimes overwhelmed because they don't get as much support as they would like, but also having the spiritual conversation with our devotees to help them understand that taking on office can be a catalyst for their own spiritual development. This is not just a physical activity. We have the opportunity to develop ourselves, transform ourselves through service, simply because once we have that temporary title that we have as office bearers, we are our own biggest critics. How do we behave? Did what I just say, was it loving? Was it respectful? Devotees talked about bridging the understanding and gaps between different demographics at centers, Bal Vikas into young adults into non-young adults. There was also the comment that sometimes some of these demographics operate in silos. Youth attracts youth, and sometimes they do their wonderful activities in isolation. How do we bridge those gaps? A very important point was raised in multiple workshops about parents' participation in center activities and not just dropping their children off for Bal Vikas classes. We felt that that was such an important point to make because understanding of Swami's teachings should not just be for that 1 hour that you're in Bal Vikas. Character building and education starts from home. Moving then on to aspirations and how some of these things can be improved and realized. Happily, most of the workshops said that the greatest aspiration that they have at their centers is to continue supporting each other, taking steps towards Swami. And I think if we all remember that in every action that we take, we're onto a winner already. Developing a greater understanding of what inspires each individual and each demographic in the center is essential to bridging some of the gaps that I've already talked about. The question is not, what can you do for your organization? It can often be, what can your organization do for you? From a future perspective, one of the questions that we asked was, how do you see your center in 2030? What does it look like? Who comes there? What is it known for? And a huge aspiration across all of the centers was a greater presence of multi-faith knowledge, multi-faith activity within centers. That's not just in the form of the services or singing bhajans in different languages, but having an appreciation of what our communities around us need and appreciate. We talked about involving local leaders in service activities, including MPs, multi-faith leaders, so that we can integrate ourselves into society and that people can look at us and say, oh, you're a Sai devotee, so that we, as Swami's instruments, making his life our message, can go out into the community using these 5 human values that Bhagwan has given us and inspire those not to become Sai devotees, but to be the best versions of themselves. EHV, which has been talked about a few times during the course of today. One aspiration was taking EHV values into schools and universities to make others aware of Swami's messages. This could be in the form of light meditation or study circles where we explore our inner selves. We talked about different spiritual activities at our centers that can appeal to greater audiences outside of the known. And more collaboration across centers. We are all branches of the one organization. We are all arteries leading to the same heart. So why should we live as islands? Why can we not share our resources, our ideas, for the betterment of our centers and all of society? The final question was, how can the organization help in achieving these things? A wonderful suggestion from at least 3 workshops was a Sathya Sai leadership program using the experience of alumni of Bal Vikas to come and talk to current Bal Vikas children and young adults to inspire them to stay with the organization, to devote their resources to its betterment. That would involve shadowing, training opportunities to inspire the next generation of office bearers. The point was made to organize more speakers across the organization to share our knowledge collectively. Digital presence, I think we've talked enough about social media. I think Amit Bhai and the media wing have talked about that very effectively. And finally, we talked about introspection, action planning. Let today not be the end of the conversation, but the start of it. How do we help our centers develop for the future? Thank you everyone for all of your participation. Very, very effective use of our time. and I'm sure we will go back and share this with our centers. And without further ado, I'd like to invite Brother Bali for the vote of thanks. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. My most humble and loving pranams at the lotus feet of our loving Bhagwan. Respected office bearers, active workers and volunteers and devotees. Jai Sai Ram. Now, what a wonderful day it's been. Informative and inspiring. But I'm aware we are at the end of the day now and all of us are very tired. But a quick show of hands, please, if you still have energy within you and you still feel inspired. So any hands, any vote, thanks? That's pretty good. I think over 90%, not quite 100%. So in order to just give us that final lift, after 3, I'd like everyone to please say Jai Sai Ram together. 1, 2, 3. Jai Sai Ram. Lovely. I think everyone's awake now. So let's recap the day. We started with wonderful Vedam and bhajans, as always, to lift us. We then had Swami's discourse, in which Swami most lovingly inspired us and taught us unity is important. We are all one. Welcome all from your heart. And that most important message of all, God dwells in your heart. We then had a lovely video of the highlights of 2025, the most special of years, the centenary year. Some of the captured items there were a bhajan a week, a moment with Sai, the Nepal medical camp, the pilgrimage, and of course the national centenary birthday in Wembley. We then had quite an emotive, I think, address by our ex-national president, Pratap Bhai, who told us the challenges he faced in the 3 years, especially after COVID. The initiatives that were brought under his leadership across the UK and all regions, the establishment of our organization, the CIO, and that important message I think he gave us that it was all achieved not by him or the team, but it all achieved because of Swami's will. Our current and new National President, Shakti Pai, then informed us all on how that we should all embrace change and support each other. He gave us our vision for this year and beyond. The 3 being, and I hope everyone can remember, but I'll do a summary. The first being increase awareness of Swami's message in the community. The second, support devotees and their transformations by growing the centers. And the third, continue to deliver key programs across the national, regional events and your centers. He also described us the UK structure and that we all need your support and your love for it to go forward. Then we had the somewhat amazing talk, as always, by Shitabai. That personal memory he recollected, I think will stay with me. He was sitting there with Swami in his divine presence, in silence, Swami with his hand palm up on his knee. And I think we can all imagine that we were in that situation as well. Asking him and inspiring to, going on to telling him what is the Jagat, the coming and going, and now how we must break this. Shitabai informed us the 3 key lessons he's learned. Keeping a check on your ego, surrendering to him even in the most difficult of situations, and keeping faith in him. For if we can follow these 3, they will help us to break this cycle of Jagat. We then had, as always, a most inspirational, uplifting, energizing talk by Ronnie Bai on finance and general matters. He informed us we are one organization. Our CIO, the Sri Sathya Sai organization of UK, is one CIO, and we have a number of branches. We're no longer the center of Harrow West or the centre of Milton Keynes. We are all under one umbrella, and we are branches of that. He told us this is your organization and this is your story. We then had wing presentations by our spiritual wing, our Bal Vikas wing, and SSEHV, all sharing their reviews, reflections, and the plans going forward into 2026. We then had our first workshop, as so lovingly summarized by Manisha Ben and summarized by Ketan Bhai. And then we had our most delicious lunch. Following from lunch, we had our second workshop, which was summarized by Brother Neil. And then we had an overview of this incoming exciting platform called the Devotee Digital Data, the 3D. Then we had another inspirational talk by Ketan Bhai. And couple of key points I noted there was, he mentioned, everything you do, I am with you, and I am with you all the way. That was some of the inspiring messages that Ketan Bhai had picked up from Swami. And he also mentioned to him, he handpicks us all. Wing presentations continued with service wing, the young adults, and the digital, each once again giving a summary of last year and our plans into 2026. Now, moving on. It's been, as you can imagine, this event takes a fair amount of planning, and there's a few rounds of votes of thanks I'd like to extend out to, please. The first of all is please a huge round of thank you and applause for our dear Swami for bringing us together on this day in our organization. Also like to thank our planning team, who've been planning this for a while, to bring this all together. Our setup team, who were here late last night. And our altar team, who come out with the most beautiful design, as always, again, and a unique theme. Our Seva team, who work always tirelessly behind the scenes, making sure we are fed breakfast and lunch, and have always continued to look after us. Our silent team, which is the media team, who were here late last night and work no matter what the conditions are in new venues and always doing the most inspirational job. And our spiritual team, as always, delivering Vedam of a high quality, bhajans which inspire us all. And all our esteemed speakers. And of course, our workshop team and all our facilitators who've looked after us and inspired us. And finally, and not least, a heartfelt and thank you to each and every one of you, office bearers, active workers, devotees, who've come here today for this, in this most special organization that the Lord has created. He has handpicked and personally selected each and every one of you. And I'm sure He will remain with you, guide you, and bless you always, today and always. Jai Saram. A quick few announcements. In the next couple of months, so during the month of February and March, there will be regional office bearers meetings being communicated. So please await for confirmation from your regional presidents. It's most important that we attend this we'll be setting up the objectives for this year across our regions, centres and groups. And then our next national event will be the National Ishwarama Day on Saturday, the 16th of May in Pushi. Finally, devotees, we've all got these lovely badges. If you could please return the badges as we leave on the tables, the registration tables, the plastic outer casing. And then you're welcome to please take your name tags out from those. Also, please ensure you do take vibhuti packets as you leave, prasad. And there is also Mahaprasad from lunch as well in takeaway bags. Please make sure you're most welcome to take those. And now, following on from this, we have one bhajan followed by Mangal Arati. And once again, dear all, thank you so much for coming and wishing you all a happy, healthy, and Sai-filled 2026 and beyond. Jai Sai Ram.
राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे ईश्वर साई हरे गुरु नानक यीशु बुद्ध हरे नानक यीशु बुद्ध हरे जोराष्ट्र महावीर साई हरे जोराष्ट्र महावीर साई हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे बाबा सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे बाबा सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे राम हरे साई कृष्ण हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे अल्लाह ईश्वर साई हरे गुरु नानक यीशु बुद्ध हरे नानक यीशु बुद्ध हरे जोराष्ट्र महावीर साई हरे जोराष्ट्र महावीर साई हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे बाबा सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे राम हरे साई कृष्ण 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 हरे सर्वधर्म प्रिय साई हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बांधवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदेवमु मरियंतयु नीवे स्वामी मरियंतयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशय गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम सत्यनारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।